This video will give us a tour of the online writing lab at Purdue. This writing lab gives a general overview and some specific information about writing. As you'll see at the top, there's categories for general writing, research and citation, subject-specific writing, job search writing, and English as a second language. There's also info for teaching and tutoring, but these other topics will be most useful to you as students. The same categories are here in the sidebar, and you can also search if there's something specific that you're looking for. The first place I want to visit is this guide for how to navigate the OWL. This gives you an overview of how the website works and explains where you can find some of the key things on the website. So this would be a very helpful thing for you to look at. It also explains how the categories work. So we have categories and subcategories. So for example, under the writing process, you can see that there's lots of different things that you can click on if you're looking for something specific. Okay, so take a look at the how to navigate the OWL if you're a little bit confused about the website. And now I would like to take us through a quick tour of the resources that you can find here. So let's go ahead and start with general writing. As you can see, if you click on general writing, it shows us all of the categories that are available in the sidebar, but you can also just kind of scroll down and browse and see what's there. Under each of these categories, you'll find that there's several subcategories. The writing task resource list links up to a lot of different other resources on the website and gives you an overview of all of the resources there. If you click on starting the writing process, it has a lot of information on invention and tips. Your instructors may or may not go over these in class. If you click on pre-writing, we have pre-writing questions that you can look at. These are very general because they're designed to apply to multiple assignments, but they're a good place to start. We have tips for getting rid of your writer's block or getting through it. And then we have even more writer's block strategies. There's also a section on stasis theory, which is part of a pre-writing process that you might find helpful. We have tips for creating a thesis statement, tips for developing outlines, reverse outlining as an exercise, which kind of helps you organize your work if you've already been drafting. And then we have tips on proofreading, which involves revision, looking for errors, things like that. And these are the final stages of the writing process. So you can see that there's advice on all levels of the writing process. The next thing that we're going to look at is subject-specific writing. So you can see that there's tips for writing in all sorts of different disciplines. And we won't go through these in detail, but I think it's good for you to know that they're there. There's also job search writing. So this will help you with applications, letters, resumes, things like that. There's English as a second language resource, and this is going to have specific student resources. As you can see, there's a lot of information that you can go through. So you can look for specific things, or you can just read through all of it if you find it interesting. The last thing that we're going to visit today is the research and citation page. The research and citation section gives us advice on how to conduct research, how to use research, and then it has 4 different style guides for citation. The ones that you'll probably use the most in your first couple years of school will be MLA style. This is what English classes tend to use. APA style, this is what your sociology, psychology, science classes tend to use, as well as business and communications. And then we have the Chicago Manual of Style. The Chicago Manual of Style is used in other humanities fields such as history, humanities, and fields like that. English often uses Chicago as well. The AMA style is the American Medical Association, so you might find yourself using that in your medical related classes. So each of these guides will give you in-depth information about how to write in that given style. Oftentimes we think that citation styles only have to do with technical things like how you put together the works cited or references pages and where you put the citation information in the paper. But there's actually a little bit more to it. Different styles request a different use of language, for example. How we abbreviate and footnote is only one of them. The type of language that we use also matters. So for example, if we look at the APA guide in the overview and workshop, it lets us know that for writing style, we typically avoid things like flowery language. So we look for point of view, clarity, and conciseness in word choice. Because APA is for the sciences, they strive for really objective language. So this is something you should really familiarize yourself with if you're asked to write an APA paper, so that you can think about all of the differences and be mindful of your audience as you're writing your papers. Each style is going to have the overview and workshop, which gives you basic ideas, and then you're going to have the specific formatting and style guide. The general format will tell you things like what the page header should look like, whether you need a title page or an abstract, and will provide a sample paper to show you what that looks like. And then you'll find that there's basics for in-text citation, which gives you an overview of how we do in-text citation. And then it will have specifics for how you deal with citing multiple authors. It will also give you info on endnotes and footnotes. Then you'll have the basic rules for the reference list. And in this case, that will tell you how to treat author names, capitalization, italicization, and things like that. And then for each type of source that you might use, there will be specific formatting notes. So it's always a good idea to begin with the basics so that you have an overview, and then look for the specific type of source that you're trying to create an entry for. You'll also find as you scroll down that we have APA stylistics, the basics, and also APA stylistics, avoiding bias. So this is going to be the actual writing style that you use within the paper. There will be a similar format for MLA. You have the overview and workshop, which gives you a general overview and some basics to look at. And then if you click on the formatting and style guide, it will take you through the same things: in-text citation basics, works cited page, basic format, and then specific texts. And then we'll get to additional MLA resources. MLA stylistics don't have quite as many guidelines as APA, but there will still be suggestions for punctuation and things like that. So, and then you'll find the same thing for Chicago and AMA on this website. So this is just a quick overview of what the Purdue Online Writing Lab looks like and what kind of information you can find there.